Hello and a very warm welcome, viewers. You're watching the brand new edition of India Fights Back with your host, Kriti Mishra. The 7th International Day of Yoga was observed on Monday. The main theme for this year is Yoga for Wellness. Addressing people on the occasion of 7th International Day for Yoga, Prime Minister Modi said that yoga has remained a ray of hope for the whole world to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. PM Modi also said that nobody was mentally prepared to deal with COVID-19. But yoga has become a medium of self-confidence. When the unseen coronavirus knocked on the doors of the world, no country was prepared for it in terms of resources, capability, and mental state. In such difficult times, yoga has become a great source of inner strength. And to discuss the significance of yoga during the current pandemic, I'm joined by Dr. Khushbu Jain, Assistant Professor, Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, and Dr. Rajesh Malhotra, Chief Trauma Center, COVID Facility, AIIMS, New Delhi. Welcome to Sunset TV, both of you. And Dr. Malhotra, coming to you first. Prime Minister Modi has said that yoga has remained a ray of hope for the whole world to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. So tell us about your experience.
So, Kriti, that is absolutely correct. A world which is coming apart at its seams because of this unprecedented COVID pandemic, actually, yoga can be a big tool to unite the world together. Like what Prime Minister has said, one world, one health. So, yoga is something which I feel will find greater acceptability and incorporation in their routine for most of the world. Primarily because it has got the preventive and promotive values, and these stressful times, yoga can be really invaluable to restore your self confidence, to really have your physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional well being. Each one of whom each one of which is important for the fighting the pandemic. So I'm sure this pandemic will do a lot of good to the yoga's acceptance all over the world, and people will realize its usefulness in the immune strengthening, as well as fighting the infections, particularly the infectious as well as the non-communicable diseases.
Absolutely. Even beyond the pandemic, it is very important to practice yoga. And Dr. Jain, tell us about the significance of yoga in preventive as well as promotive healthcare of masses.
Yes, of course. As you all are aware that yoga is a very ancient practice with a group of physical, mental, and spiritual practices. So this is a combo to meet for our health. So I think in the pandemic situation, the yoga played a very important role. If one continues to do yoga daily, the cleansing practices, the yogasana, sukshma vyayam, pranayama, mudras, bandhas, it helps to strengthen the respiratory system, like our lung capacity, as well as it also boosts our immune system. Lots of scientific studies suggest yoga helps to increase the number of natural killer cells, which are the part of our immune system. So therefore, we can suggest that calm and meditative mind can correlate better cellular immunity. So we can say that yoga boosts the respiratory system as well as our immune system. Along with this, it also helps in the reduction of stress, fear, anxiety, which nowadays everybody is feeling because of this pandemic situation. So along with this preventive strategy of yoga, we also can say that it also plays a very important role in the during the infection, during the COVID-19 infection, as the cleansing practices like Jal Neti. If we do Jal Neti, so it helps to cleanse the mucus in our nasal passage. Along with this, if we do Kunjal practices, it also helps to cleanse our throat, larynx and pharynx, larynx and pharynx. So we can say it also helps during the infection. And the sattvic ahar, the yogic diet, if we consume daily, it helps to boost the immune system. So additionally, it also plays a very important role during the rehabilitation of COVID-19 patients. We observe on the daily basis that after the COVID-19 infection, the patients are feeling lots of problems after the pandemic, after the infection. So in that case, yoga again played a very effective role by boosting the immunity and strengthening the immune respiratory system, as well as reducing the stress and anxiety. So it plays a three times role: preventive, during infection, and as well as rehabilitation.
Preventive and rehabilitation, and you also talked about mental health, which is a very important aspect. We'll just talk to you more about that. But before that, Dr. Malhotra, Prime Minister added that when he talks to the frontline warriors and doctors, they tell him that they've made yoga a shield for protection against the virus. How does yoga help in that healing process?
So yoga has a role before COVID, during COVID, after COVID, for those who are suffering from COVID and those who are frontline warriors for the COVID. And that is primarily, like I earlier said, it has got a preventive role. Like Dr. Khushbu just now said, we know that the yoga can improve your immunity. Many influenza-like illnesses in some studies have been shown to be reduced in incidence among people who practice yoga. Yoga has been shown to also improve the local immunity in the respiratory system, in the nasal passages. So, and of course, it in the times of stress, when the frontline warriors, like the Prime Minister said, are fighting yoga, they are under a lot of stress. And let me emphasize here, the stress in the body leads to release of steroids. And these days, everybody has been made aware about the side effects of steroids. Steroids are double-edged swords. They are needed by our body to fight the stress, but then they also let down our guard, making us, a little weak in face of infection. So, when we give steroids to the patients are more likely to catch infections. Now, the yoga actually modulates the body's response to the stress. And, that actually helps in reducing the release of steroids in the body, and that's how it maintains your immunity. So the stress is a very important factor which makes you more susceptible to infection and also blunts the response of your body to infection, and then it aggravates the existing conditions like high blood pressure and diabetes. So yoga, by modulating the body's response to the stress, is by itself a promoter of the immune response. And it can actually change the stress into strength, and it can convert the negativity into the creativity. And it's all about, it has been shown that it can build the self-confidence, it's got a healing properties, and it is a holistic treatment. We know that, those people who chant and meditate are less prone to heart diseases. There have been studies which have shown that if your boss is bad or you are not happy at work, you are more likely to get brain cancer, meaning thereby that your mental state and the stress that you are in decides your physical health and can give rise to a lot of diseases. And that's why the holistic treatment or holistic well-being offered by yoga occupies a very, very special place.
So you made a very important point about mental state, I think, which is of paramount importance. Dr. Jain, what is the role of yoga in psychosocial care and rehabilitation of COVID-19 patients and otherwise also after quarantine and isolation, allaying their fears and anxiety and ensuring mental health?
Surely. As I already told you that yoga is a physical, mental and spiritual practice. It is a combo to all. If we go to the 8 limbs of yoga, these are the yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahar, dhyan, dharana, samadhi. So it's a complete journey. So if we go to the concept of disease in the yoga philosophy, so we can say that yoga basically generally disease occurs because of mental agitation in our body. So as per the yoga philosophy, generally disease occurs because of this agitation, this mental agitation, or our desires which cause the mental agitation. So we can say with the help of yoga, basically because with the help of pranayama, anulom vilom, nadi shodhan, and meditation practices, we can reduce the stress, anxiety, these all type of mental disorders which can lead to all psychosomatic disorders or a lifestyle disorders. We can in general life we can see that generally people are more suffering towards the due to the lifestyle disorders like diabetes, like hypertension, and these are generally because of this stress, work stress, physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress. People are very stressful. So we can say that yoga, with the help of pranayama, meditation, and yogasana practices, we can reduce this stress because as per the mechanism of yoga helps to cause the vagal stimulation or the stimulation of parasympathetic nervous system, which cause the reduction of this stress by the help of reduction of cortisol and different stress hormones.
All right, besides these mental health issues, we are also witnessing complications, Dr. Malhotra, like respiratory diseases, hypoxia, fatigue, insomnia, and other symptoms have also been observed. What are the interventions of yoga and naturopathy in facilitating post-recovery of COVID-19 patients?
Yeah, I think when you are post-recovery, we normally advise patients not to overexert and not to go out of this. Yoga can be, a very, very gentle way of toning up your body and your mind also to get back to the state of normalcy. A lot of patients are complaining about something called mental fog. They are unable to concentrate after recovering from COVID. They're not able to think clearly. And I think that's where the yoga and meditation can actually really streamline and make them focus better. The other thing is that, the breathing exercises can help you recover your lung capacity, lung functions, and the gentle exercises can help you overcome the fatigue and restore the mobility in your joints and, also relieve the muscle fatigue. See, the relaxation and the stress-free state is a great healer. A very important thing we have been talking about in this program is to allay the anxiety and the fears. And, the people are apprehensive, they are low on the self-confidence, they feel their body reserves are being depleted. And it is in this state that the yoga can help them get the self-confidence back and, the healing power and feeling, less upset because of the illness helps them. We know that the yoga helps restore the harmony. It restores the harmony between the body and the mind. It helps restore the harmony between the man and the nature, and also helps restore harmony and convert, the individual consciousness into universal consciousness. And that's how I said in the beginning also that it can really help unite the world, bring them all together, because in any case, the whole world is fighting this pandemic together and sharing everything, including the medicines, the vaccine. It's high time that we share this model of rehabilitation from COVID disease also to help people recover faster.
Yes, sir. Amalgamating individual consciousness with universal consciousness, I think that is the biggest takeaway. But sir, you were also talking about breathing exercise. Let's try and understand that from Dr. Jain. Dr. Jain, simple breathing exercises and pranayama, how do they enhance SpO2 levels? Because during the second wave, we saw a lot of oxygen-related complications.
Yes, actually, the pranayama is the pran plus ayam. It's the made of two words, pran plus ayam. Means to control our breath, to control our pran. So we can say that with the pranayama practices, we can control or lengthen our breath. So deep breathing, ujjayi, there are various type of pranayamas, ujjayi, bhramari, shitali, Sheetkari, and there are lots of other pranayama, basically Anulom, Vilom, Nadi Shodhan. So these are the breathing practices which helps to longiten the breath and control the breath. So there are four phases of pranayama. One is inhalation, second is retention inside, and third is exhalation, and again the exhalation, the retention of exhalation. So in Hindi, you can translate like Purak, Antrik Kumbhak, Recha, and Bhai Kumbhak. So these are the practice. This is the particular way of taking the breath. In generally, people take the breath very fast. So nowadays, that's why people are suffering from hypertension and various other problems because the shortening of breath causes the stress. So with this practice of pranayama, by controlling the breath, we can help our respiratory system to take breath completely, and which helps to increase our lung capacity, enhance the lung capacity, which cause the increase of saturation of oxygen in our body.
All right, Dr. Malhotra, what has been the practical experience with patients suffering from COVID-19 with these exercises, with these breathing tips?
So you see, the breathing exercises have, in addition to improving your breathing capacity, they have a great calming effect. And they also the ability, for example, I'll just give you an example that when a patient is admitted to the hospital and we want them to do breathing exercises, we give them something called incentive spirometer, and that's got 3 balls. So it gives an incentive to the patient to work harder to lift up all the 3 balls. That is one way we make the patients work harder towards improving their breathing capacity. The same thing is done very successfully also by asking them to do pranayam and improve this, particularly those who are in isolation, those who are in quarantine, and those who have yet not gone into a state of hypoxia. And this not only improves their breathing and recruits the areas, more areas of the lung for the process of air exchange, but it also gives them a confidence and reduces their apprehension because they feel that they are improving their breathing capacity. The other thing is, the patients, there is the communicable or the infectious diseases and non-infectious diseases are inseparable. For example, if you practice yoga to get a better pre-COVID health status like control of diabetes and control of breathing, if you're asthmatic or you've got COPD, chronic lung disease or sleep disorder or stress, you are not only more likely to get COVID, but you are also likely to get more complications from the COVID. We also know that the stress increases the susceptibility of the patients to COVID and also compromises the outcome. And Dr. Khushbu will bear it out that, the pranayam and all such exercises which reduce the stress, and like I said, the response of body to the stress actually promote your general health and general well-being, and consequently also help you against the infection as well as the adverse outcome. And doing pranayam when you are, at risk or when you are in isolation or quarantine or recovering from it really not only improves your lung functions and breathing function, but also it actually puts you at calm and reduces the harmful chemicals from getting released in your circulation.
All right, Dr. Jain, you wanted to add something? Please go ahead, ma'am.
So during this pandemic, we prepare a protocol, basically a pranayama protocol, and we implement this protocol in the COVID hospitals, mainly with the frontline warriors like healthcare professionals, as well as with the COVID quarantine people and the COVID-19 infected people. So we find a very good response, and those the healthcare professionals find very reduction in their stress levels, anxiety levels, and also in the quarantine people, we find a very good oxygen saturation level, as well as in the COVID-19 patients. They also feel reduction in their stress levels as well as improvement in their oxygen saturation levels.
Okay, Dr. Malhotra, yoga shows the way from stress to strength and from negativity to creativity. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like I said earlier also, I have seen so many patients who were under some kind of stress because they lost a job or they were in a litigation or something, and they landed to us with infection in the body, in the bones or somewhere else. So in my practice, I have realized that a stress is something which lowers your immunity and you can land up with the infective complications. So the stress becomes strength if the yoga is practiced, because then your well-being and your strength improves. And like I said, that the mental effect or the emotional effect of yoga helps you fight negativity. It's particularly useful for people who are the high risk or the vulnerable group, particularly the elderly. They are very highly vulnerable. They are at high risk to get COVID, or they are high risk to get complications with COVID. And I think and also children. So I think the yoga can go a long way to promote, the conversion of stress to strength and from negativity to creativity, for particularly for these extreme age groups, which are very, very vulnerable, and who are, if the children are sick, the parents are highly stressed. If the old people are sick, they themselves get stressed, the children get stressed. So I think it's all linked. And at the end of it all, it's the emotional and the mental well-being, the mindfulness, which comes from meditation, which helps you fight all these diseases as well as their after effects.
All right, so it's all about mental, physical, spiritual well-being. Time for closing comments from both my guests. Dr. Jain, first to you.
Surely, indeed, I am in agreement with Dr. Malhotra. Definitely, yoga is a complete physical, mental, and spiritual practices. It's a journey from Annamay Kosh to Anandamay Kosh. It's a journey of a person to sadness to a blissful stage. So definitely, it helps in the reduction of the stress and strengthen the body. In fact, I can say that if we practice yoga is a way of life, and if we practice yoga regularly, health is the byproduct of this practices. Basically, our sages prepare this practice, this yoga, for the blissful to achieve the salvation or a blissful stage. So this is just a byproduct. Like we can get a good health because of yoga, but yoga is not just a yogasan or a physical practice. It's a complete combo. It covers the complete life, like with the yamas, niyamas, cleansing practices, asana, pranayam, meditation, and additionally with the yogic diet, yuktaha, mitaha. So it's a complete package, and one should get the benefit of this yoga by doing the yoga on the regular basis.
All right, so as you said, that health is just the byproduct, and it is a full circle of life. Dr. Malhotra, your closing comments.
So it is a holistic treatment to have a happier and healthier life, and to have a real healthy mind, body, your emotional state, as well as your spiritual state. And I would like to still say that your body is as strong as your mind is. Being mindful and indulging in mindful meditation, controlling the response your body has to the stress, can preserve your health and can help you fight disease and come out of it, in a very, very healthy way without losing any of the body functions. So it's a self-healing thing, and that is something like Dr. Khushbu said, it has to be incorporated in your daily life if you want to live healthy, live long, and live happy.
All right, so with that inspiring message, let's end this show. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Malhotra and Dr. Jain. Well, viewers, that's all we have for you in this edition of India Fights Back. But before that, let me remind you once again to stay safe from the coronavirus pandemic. Remember to wear a face mask and wash your hands and face regularly. And ensure that you maintain physical distancing whenever you're stepping outside. These simple precautions are all it takes to defeat this pandemic. Take very good care and goodbye.